I'm your host, Chris Barbee of Grand Valley Alumni Relations. On this edition of 10 or 10, 10 minutes or 10 questions, we welcome Julianne VandenWyngaard, retired music professor at Grand Valley State University. Julianne was the first female African-American professor at Grand Valley and retired in 2019. While she touched the lives of thousands of students over the years, she is known as the mother of the Carillons Towers at Grand Valley, having served as the principal performer and teacher of the Cook Carillon on the Allendale campus since 1994 and the Beckering family Carillon on the downtown campus since 2000. Julianne, you kind of took me under your wing when I came back to Grand Valley in 2002, and I'm not sure if you were assigned that duty as punishment or if it was just out of your kindness.
When we met, Chris, you were standing on the campus holding a big bouquet of flowers, and how could I be mean to a handsome young man holding flowers that were for me? So you've been A on my book forever.
Well, I'm glad that's the story that you're sticking with, so. Well, let's get started with these questions. First of all, who's your favorite pianist?
My favorite pianist?
Yes.
Is that what you said? Pianist?
Yeah.
Arthur Rubinstein from years back. We had a guest on our campus for many years, Skip Dotman, who I thought was just really quite wonderful. And pianist. I got to think of another one. Let's say George Walker, who I spent a sabbatical studying with at Rutgers University. African American, I had met him at Eastman School of Music, and he not only was a very gifted pianist, he was a wonderful composer. So he was many-faceted and remains in my memory to this point.
Okay. If you had a choice, a summer picnic, or are you curled up in front of a cozy fire?
You know, we've been indoors for a little bit now, and so a summer picnic sounds really good. Actually, I took my dog Lindsay out to Johnson Park on Saturday and just wandered around there with her for a little bit. So it feels good to be out. I do like a cozy fire as well, but I also like time spent on Lake Michigan, not in necessarily, but just there's a smell about that lake that for me will always be home. And so I go there to relax. And so I do like that part of where we live as well.
Question number 3. What is the fondest memory you have of the very first time you were given the keys to play the bells at Grand Valley?
Oh, I can remember being very intimidated because it didn't sound like the piano, of course. It didn't play like the piano. And if you just barely touch one of the batons, everybody within earshot knew that somebody was up there. And I've been greeted by people who were standing for other reasons outdoors, and the bells would start to play, and they don't know whether there's somebody up there or whether, it's been part of the system. And so I really was quite intimidated in that way, but I've been in front of audiences forever, but I could always see the audience and get an immediate reaction. When you're in that bell tower, you don't know who's listening or where or how you're going to impact them on that particular day. And it, for me, was really quite intimidating. I can remember touching a baton when the technicians were still up there working on it, and I'd hear the bell sound and I'd say, did everybody hear that? It's like I wanted it to be just my world until I was practiced and ready to go. But I thoroughly enjoyed playing the Carillon. It's been a nice change for me, actually.
What is that one interesting tidbit about playing the Carillon that people would be surprised by?
The one what?
Well, one tidbit? Interesting tidbit.
Oh. I don't have to buy a dress and fancy shoes now to play a concert. I can wear the same thing or something similar every time I'm up there playing. And I get to program the music, not just for what I enjoy, but what I think the people on the ground are going to enjoy. If it's a Sunday night concert, I want to make sure I include a hymn tune. If it's around a national holiday, I'll make sure I include America the Beautiful, or, something. I don't want people to feel compelled to stand, but I just want to keep them tuned in to the fact that I've selected the program with some care. And it's always fun then afterwards to come downstairs and greet your audience, because they are always so enthusiastic and they seem always so grateful for the effort that we've taken to provide the concerts.
And do they look at you like, she's the one that was making that music?
Yeah, they do, except let me see, oh gosh, I'm not going to remember the year, but I'm going to say around 2000, I think, we all of a sudden got video capabilities so that we could put a screen outside the Carillons, so that downstairs, so that people could sit there if they wanted to and watch. Because it's difficult. If you've not seen anybody play the Carillon, you don't understand how it works. And it's fine for me to come down and say I play with my fists, and they say, yeah, really? It sounded like that in that second piece you played. Or no, but but this way now, and we have video capabilities on both campuses, and so people can see how it works, because it really is mystical, kind of mystical. And not everyone wants to climb. There's 61 steps in Allendale and 112 steps downtown, and we are not allowed, because of fire department limitations, to take people upstairs at the Beckering Tower, but they can go with supervision in the Allendale. I mean, they have to be with one of us, and there's a limit to the number, but most people don't get up there to see it, and so the video on the ground has been really, really helpful.
All right. Let's shift gears a little bit. What types of books do you like to read?
Oh, let's see. I'm going to see if I can go back a couple. I've, of course, read Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, that I found really very interesting. And I have several mysteries on my coffee table that I have yet to really pick up and explore. But I do like things like that. I'm not a romance novel girl. I'm a little more factual than that. Although what's factual about some of these murder mysteries, that I look at. But that's the kind of thing that I like to read.
You get a 2 weeks all expense paid trip. Where are you going to go to?
Oh, if it's right now, I think I'd probably go to the Netherlands. There's still a lot of ground to cover. I spent 3 or 4 summers there when I was finishing my degree from the Carillon School, and there were still areas in that country, small as it is, but there were still areas that I didn't get to, and I would like to do that a lot. I found the people to be very welcoming, and I have a standing invitation to come back. So that would be the first place I'd go. I'd like to go back to Alaska. I've been to Alaska, and I would like to go back there. Caribbean, I've been to the Caribbean, and I can't say that I really need to go back in that direction. In January, asked me that same question, and of course I'm going to say, St. Thomas, here I come. But that's the kind of thing I would like. My dad studied in Europe a great deal, in France, and I would like to retrace some of his steps. I'm angry. I was hurt that the cathedral burned in Paris before I had a chance to see it, and so now I hope they get it restored so in time so that I can still get there to see that. There's a lot in France that I would like to do and see, and if I had a good guide, I'd be out of here in a heartbeat.
Well, we got about 2 minutes left, and we got to do some rapid fire here. So if someone were to try to get on your good side, what would they need to do?
be friendly and kind and honest and sincere and, you know, just be straight ahead.
All good qualities.
Like you.
Thank you. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, oh gosh, Ben & Jerry's that has a big chocolate chunk in the middle of it. I can't tell you the name of it, but anyway, I keep one in the freezer, a little one.
Okay, is that going to be in a bowl or in a cone?
Oh no, I don't want a cone. I want it in a little dish, not a bowl.
Okay. When you're driving, are you looking straight ahead with your hands at the 10 and 2 position, or are you waving and honking at the person next to you?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. My hands are at 10 and 2, without a doubt.
And that was a question I put in there because I know that's very true. When I pass you on Lake Michigan Drive, you do not look to the side at all.
That's right.
Blowing my horn, waving. Julianne, straight ahead, straight ahead.
That's what my mother taught me. She said, ignore those boys that are tooting at you.
To this day, you are still doing it. So credit to your mother. Last question. Professional accomplishment that you're most proud of?
Oh, I think completing my work at the Carillons school, that was really, really quite nice. But on a level that maybe we all understand a little better, I was invited to play, to appear as soloist with the Grand Rapids Symphony when Arthur Fiedler was invited here to conduct. And that was just a wonderful honor that I had. And Don Lubbers and Nancy, the crowd was fabulous. It was just Grand Valley dined at the Symphony, you know. It was very special.
Well, you've been a treasure to Grand Valley, and Grand Valley's been very fortunate to have you as long as they have. And I just want to thank you for your friendship over the years, and always enjoy chatting with you. We always have a good time when we're together.
We do that, Chris. You're welcome, and thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, dear. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.